Welcome to the Opal Cave. I don't know why I think that's funny. I came out to cut an opal. This one should be good. It's got an interesting color bar. It's very unique. I'll spin it around where I can zoom it in on you and show you a better look at it. We're going to see if we can't set it. Another one of these men's ring settings that I like. Typically have one on my hand, sometimes two. I learned that I can't wear them on this finger while I'm cutting because it gets into this right hand wheel when I'm on the left hand wheel. For some reason I don't get into the left hand wheel when I'm working the right hand wheel, but the corner of this wheel has hit the opal twice now and I've had to recut it. So I don't wear one on my right hand when I'm cutting. But I want to cut a stone while we talk about some of the struggles in buying opal. I don't know why it's so hard to find a good place to buy rough opal. I'm not asking for much. If I spend $100, I would like $100 in value. I don't want $10,000 in value. I don't want $1,000 in value. That'd be cool, but that's not what I'm looking for. If I spend $100 in rough, I should be able to expect to get $200 in value. I think. Not $1 or $5. If that happens consistently, you've got problems. So, let me tell you the story here. I've been trying to find other places to give you guys good sources to buy opal. I've been recommending the Facebook Live auctions because they're fun and there's lots of opal there. There's lots of opportunities to learn and see stuff. But my last several experiences have been not positive. You guys know I've recommended the black lighters. I've had the first parcel I got from them was good. It was good value. It was exactly what I thought it would be. Got a few nice stones from it. The second parcel I got, some of it was fossil stuff that was sold in bulk lots, like 3 shells for one price, or just kind of lots of fossil shells, several lots of fossil shells. And when that parcel showed up, there was none of the fossil stuff had any color in it. It was just absolute garbage. It's fossil stuff. It probably has some value to somebody, but me as an opal cutter, and then looking through the rest of it, none of it looked like it was. I'd spent $600 ish on that bunch of opal, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, I'm not going to waste $600 on this. So I sent it back. No harm, no foul. Not that big of a deal. And I just went on my way. I have to wait now a month for the package to get there, for them to expect it, for me to get my money back. Big hassle. But I get on another one of their lives, and I thought, well, the first parcel was good, so no problem. So I bid on. They had what they call their handy parcels, and I thought, well, this would be exactly what a lot of you would be looking for. So let me get one of these handy parcels. They did 2 different types. They did a 50 carats for $100, and then later on they did 100 carats for $100, and I bought one of each. And then several days go by, and I get my invoice, and I noticed that they're not on there. And what I had done is when I had bought the handy parcels, I thought, well, I'm already paying for shipping, and I'm already spending some money here, so I'm just going to stay on here. And I bought a couple $100 worth of other stuff on that one, and then I get the invoice, and the handies are not on there. And so I reached out and said, hey, some of the stuff that I went back and watched the live, because you can go back and watch the video, to make sure that I wasn't wrong, that I had bid on it and that it had been confirmed that I had won it, and I had. So it took long enough for them to get back to me on that there was another live that I bought a couple things on, and it took long enough for them to get back to me on the stuff that was missing from the first parcel that I reached out and said, hey, can I just combine the two so I don't have to pay shipping twice? And several days went by, and I got noticed that the invoice was doing that stuff, and I tried reaching out on their Facebook page, on Messenger, on the other Messenger account. No reply. So I just went, you know what? Okay, I'll just pay them. I just paid the 2 invoices, whatever. They're gonna mail them the same day, and I'm gonna pay shipping twice. But it is what it is. Maybe they're busy, or whatever. So I have a couple other. The new breed opals replacement package shows up. I've shot a whole video on it. I'm struggling on whether or not I even should post it on here. It's not good. It's slightly better than the first bunch. It's junk material. Not as bad as the first parcel, but not value. They're selling junk material, and they know what junk is. So then I get another Facebook Live in, and it's this one, and I've only been on theirs. A&K Opals. Aaron and Kay. I'd only been on theirs, I think, once, and it was at the end of it, and there was only about 15, 16 people online. And I thought, well, I'll buy something from these guys to try, and I can show it to you later, but I bought a black opal pieces. It was pieces, and just, you know, quickly it looked like it was black opal. It had color on most of the pieces, and it didn't go out for a whole lot. So I bought it, and they were talking about how I'd gotten a steal, and boy, I shouldn't have given it up for that much. Well, that package showed up yesterday, and it's trash. It's like on the B1 to 5 scale, it struggles to hit a 1. There is a couple pieces that have some color in it. I don't know how they get it to. I was trying to duplicate the lighting that they were doing to show it to look like it had the color that it has, and I can't get it to. You can see the colors, and I'll show you here in a minute. But it's junk, and the thing is, they know it's junk. They know when they're selling it's junk. This is somebody cut something and cut all the edges off of it that were not useful and sold those pieces, and you couldn't tell that all the color just comes up to the edge of the piece you caught and then ends, and it's not. So that one didn't work out. So last night there's another Blacklighters auction, and I'm sitting there going, I don't have any material to cut. I got to buy from somewhere. And so I get on there and I watch, and they're clearancing out all their material because they have to buy a new piece of equipment. So there's going to be deals, and so they do 200 carats for $100 handy parcel. So I was like, great. I said, yeah, give me 400 carats. I'll take $200 worth. And she went, you know, she confirmed verbally on the auction, just like they do for the auction things, that I had indeed won, you know, got some. And then the auction was extremely frustrating because, you know, they were saying it was lag. They couldn't see my bids. Every time I would type in, hey, can you see me? They would say, yeah, we see you. And then I would bid, you know, I'd bid $80 on a stone, and it would go out for 60, and they'd never see my bid. And this happened probably 20 times. And I was like, all right, screw it. They're either ignoring me or, and I tried doing it every which way that usually can get your bid in there. But they were just, it looked to me like they were ignoring me specifically. So I get my invoice this morning from them, and there's no handy parcel on there. Well, somebody else that I'm in contact with was also on that auction, and he'd bought one of those. He'd done the same thing. He'd 400 carats for $200. And so I messaged him. I said, hey, was your 400 carats on your invoice? And he says, yeah, it's on here. So I messaged Rach from the Blacklighters and said, hey, I'm missing my, just like last time, I'm missing my handy parcel. And she immediately replied, we're out of those, sorry. Well, because I had bought the handy parcel, I did the same thing. I was like, well, I already got to pay for shipping. I just will pick up a few pieces here. So I'd spend a couple $100 on other stones that I wouldn't have bought if I wasn't buying the handy parcel and paying for shipping anyway. So I was like, well, wait a minute. You sold it to me and you acknowledged that I got it. And now I'm stuck with the stones, you know, whatever. There are probably some nice stones that I got. I was very, very cautious on what I bought, and I think they're probably going to be fine, but you know, now I'm paying shipping on a much smaller parcel, which you know, changes the cost of that stuff. And I've messaged twice since then. Here's the thing: they're doing another live tonight, and they're doing another live tomorrow night. I would be willing to bet that they do handy parcels on those ones. The reason why I didn't get one, I was told, because they're out. They just don't have any more of that material. To me, if you sold me 200 carats of material and acknowledge that you sold it to me, you come up with the material, or you know, you do something to show that you have some integrity, but they didn't. So anyway, Serenity now. Let's cut an opal. I gotta stop. I'm done buying on the Facebook Lives. I can't find anybody. Very few people. Like I said, I've had good luck with Os Opal. Not the guy selling Boulder Opal, but the other one with the YouTube channel. I've had good luck with Mativi Opal. I have opal coming from a couple other places. Brucey's and Jay Kerr. He was supposed to send me shipping weeks ago, or tracking information weeks ago, and I haven't got it yet, and I haven't got the package yet, but hopefully that package is okay. I have literally spent thousands of dollars on opal material, and I'm standing here with nothing to cut but a couple of Mativi's pieces that I've been saving. I got my sister coming tomorrow to learn how to cut opal. We want to shoot a fun video. She's never cut before, and I've been saving a few of the nicer pieces that I have that'll be good for her to learn on. And when I get stressed, I want to come out and cut some opal, and I don't have anything despite spending thousands of dollars, I don't have any opal to cut. So that's where we're at. But we do have this one. So let's cut it. Let me show it to you. Look at the interesting way it faces in the color bar. That is fascinating, and I don't know how it's going to face on the top. That'll be our top. Sometimes people wonder why I end up with, oh, there's a crack right there. There's a little crack right there. Crack back to there. I wonder why when you start with a stone this big, why you only end up with a stone this big when it's all said and done. You know, something like that. Well, this right here is wasted. There's nothing you can do to save that. That's all broke down below the color bar. Unless you want to jut your piece up into here and do a free form, that, you know, basically everything from there up is gone. When you have any sort of a slant to the color bar, if the color bar is slanted this way or that way, everything to the sides is gone. When you have a color bar that is higher, like out on the edges than it is in the center, everything on the edges is gone. If you're trying to get a perfect stone with a dome and the dome is in the center, everything that's not, you know, that's higher than that center has to go away. When you start subtracting all of those various pieces from a piece, you take a piece here that's probably at least 10 carats, maybe even, I should have weighed it, but it's probably 10, 12 carats. If we get 2 carats out of it, 3 carats, if we got 3 carats out of it, I'd be just really, really happy. So it's dry now. This is what good opal rough looks like. Now that doesn't mean it's going to cut great, but this is what you're looking for. There's no water on this, there's no special lighting, there's no filters. It's got color, it's got red, it's got blue, it's got green right there. It's got a fairly thick piece of color, you know, thick color bar on it. That's what you're looking for when you buy. When you're on those Facebook auctions, you get a lot of these wonky, funky, cracked, you know, jutting in things, and some of them can be 30, 40, 50, even 100 carats that they're selling. The actual usable cuttable stone on this is that much right there, about half of the actual weight. Just keep that in mind, because realistically you might look at this and go, oh look, I can cut myself a, you know, a 25 mil by 12 mil stone out of that, and we're going to get a 13 by 7 if we're really good and we do our part. So that said, let's get started. I'm just dying to see what's in this color bar. On the machine. See how as soon as we get some water on it, it gets even better. So we know that has to go away. Like a band-aid, we'll take it right off. There's a crack that goes up into here. We're hoping we can roll that out in the color. When we roll the dome, we're hoping that one goes away. That's an indication that this material might be a little bit cracky. I've noticed that the TV stuff is more prone to crack than some other stuff, but the color bars are so consistent and bright, and you know, most of them face well, that so we look into this side, that you put up with some cracks. There's always pros and cons to every field you're going to cut, and every mine and every parcel specifically. Does it come into this side? Where do we for sure have color bar? I'm not sure. It's just starting to peek through right there, but I'm not sure it's going to face, that color bar is traveling, I see it to there, but it's pinching down, it's wedging down. Not uncommon, but I'm not sure that our stone will wind up big and wide enough to fit in here. We don't have a lot to spare, so have enough water here. What's going on? Hold on a sec. Okay. A second ago I had way too much water, so I turned it down, and I must have turned it down too much. I'll show you sometime. I have a garden hose going out to a hydrant out there that goes, it sits in a bucket with a valve to turn it on and off, and then next to that's another bucket that I dump, and I dump the 2 buckets about every 30 minutes of work to get water in here. Still don't. I think my hose must have popped off in the back. Hang on. So those of you that are curious, let me back off. I actually found out, I have to look it up, I actually found out what this machine that I bought was used, and somebody rhino lined it so you can't see it, but I actually found out what the brand name is of it. It's an older machine. That hose right there had popped off. I just put it back on, but the watering system is this hose right here feeds the 3 hoses that trickle water on with these 3 valves to my 3 wheels here. Now I bought diamond wheels to replace these with when I bought this, but these corundum wheels work so well that I see no point in not using them until they're used up, or you know, they work as good as anything, so why not use them while I've got them? Well, that's how the system works. We should have our water back now. There it is. Now we can go back to cutting. Yeah, so hopefully that color bar doesn't wedge down to not enough. I mean, it's close on this side, but obviously we're going to have a very thin color bar on this side. Right there close. I don't think we're going to go any further in. We just don't have a whole lot of give here if we're going to try and make this work in this setting. It might not, but we're going to do everything we can. Should we go in? Should we go in and see what the color bar is doing? Alright, we've reduced it down to the point where we're ready to start. There's our thin side, there's our thick side. Whoo, let's go look at it. Just slowly going in, you can just start to see it creep up. Just about there. Man, that crack's going right down the top of the color bar. Can you see it? Traveling right there. See if I can dry it off and show it to you. Well, you're not going to see it while it's wet, but I think it's angling slightly down, so we're going to have to go down a little bit further on this side. It's showing up. Probably no point in going any further than that because we can choose. We can take more off of the cracked side or whatever we need to do lengthwise. We probably got 2 mils to give. Let's go down and see if it gets bright enough to be useful. Sometimes stuff just doesn't face from the top. Well, most often it doesn't face from the top like it faces from the side, unfortunately. It's gonna be beautiful, it just might not be bright. I love that. Like I said, I've said before, that color that looks like lightning bolts rolling through clouds in a thunderstorm, that's my favorite. I don't know what you'd call it. It's probably floral pattern with flash, floral with flash. I call it a thunderstorm. Got to keep comparing it here. We're just about there on length now too. So everything, we need to get this side right here, which is our good side, our thick side. We need to make sure it's clean.
now we're just down to refining. This has got to come in there. See, I'm lining up, so I have this side right here true now. I have this side right here true now. This one is close but a little bit long, and that one's close but a little bit proud. Now that we are square to the four sides, I can take a little bit off of the time from the side that I most want it to come off of, because it has the least amount of color on it, until we get the size right. First we need to get that bottom all trued up now that we kind of know where the face is going to be. Okay, so we got a square bottom. Once that drops in, then we'll know that we have the right size. We got to be really careful, because if we take it down to where it fits perfectly on this wheel and then we go over to the finishing wheel, we end up slightly too small. We want it to just barely be there. Ooh. We're going to cut a little chamfer on these edges here, because there's a little one inside the setting on the stone. So that sets that little chamfer on the bottom. So that when it gets down to the right size, it'll actually drop in. We're still a little bit long. Just about there on the width. As I'm working this, that crack is just running down the side. I'm still hoping we can roll it out, but it's just running. The stress of being on the grindstone is just running it down this side. So far it's running parallel with the face where it should roll out, but so I'm ignoring it for now. I don't know if it's going to get brighter than that. Sometimes I'm looking at it and I don't realize that I don't have it in the camera for you. Okay, we can come down a little bit still on the width. We want to come down on this side. This is kind of a tedious process, but you can't rush it. It's surprising how little error shows up as unsightly gaps. Starting to get a little bit out of our square, so we have to take it down from in the right places to get us back to, and I don't even know if it's square, it's just running parallel to the sides of the setting. We're very close. Very close to dropping in there. a little bit on the length, and I'm trying to strategically choose where to take that from to perfect our shape. Once I get this cut perfect, if I get it perfect as I can, it has to go back in the same way I cut it, because this thing is not going to be the same. Like, you couldn't rotate it 180 degrees and have it fit correctly. That's just the nature of stuff that's kind of crafted one at a time with a small amount of imperfection into each one. It's just about ready to drop in. Right there. Maybe this corner just a little. It is right there. And it might be no more than just, we need to take those corners off a little bit. Because their corners are somewhat rounded in the setting. Oh, I think it's in. It is in. Now the problem is, it's still way too thick. I didn't want to commit to cutting it down to thin enough for this setting itself. I don't know, do we leave it proud like that? Kind of like it. I think it's time to dop it up, get our top where we want it, our dome and everything. See if we can't get that color bar to come through a little bit brighter by going down a little bit. And then we can set our, see how we're not quite parallel to the face. So until I know how the face ends up, I really don't know where to take my face, my bottom to make it parallel. It's all kind of a small adjustments at a time. That crack right there, I would rather bring down the top since I have a thicker color bar on this side, and I probably can. Okay, that color just got nice and bright right there. We might be okay. We're not quite perfect, but I think we're ready to dop it up, roll the edges. I knew this was going to be an amazing color bar. I mean, yes, I would like it to be brighter. It's probably going to get a little bit brighter as we go down. But that's my favorite. That is my favorite. Storm clouds. Can we just name it storm clouds? She could see the storm clouds rolling across the hills. It barely beat the rain in from the fields. And between the front door slamming, she heard him say, "Damn this rain. Damn this wasted day. They've been waiting for this day for oh so long." Color's coming through the bottom too now. How are we fitting? Everything we do has a chance of making it to where it's not going to work for this setting. I don't think that's the way it was in there. Yep. Okay, so we're a little bit better there. There. I think it's just time to roll those. I like it. Stop it up. See that crack now that it's drier? Come on, focus. Focus! You see the crack, it runs right down the face and curls up right there. It curls up into the face. I'm hoping we can roll that out right now and get rid of it. We have to roll both sides down the same amount. See how we're trying to get that dome. The highest point should be the center. Top to bottom, left to right, the highest point should be the center. We're slightly higher here than center. Luckily on the side that we want to take down anyway. Okay, that's pretty close. We'll start on these sides now. The way I'm cutting this doesn't affect our base at all, so it won't affect how it fits. Now, at this point, by rolling each side down from the edge in, all four sides, when I'm done with that, I should end up with the center as the high point, and then it's just kind of cleaning it up. As you can see right now, it's not quite the high point. Some of that's the water on it. And we're getting brighter as we go down. I'm glad we left plenty of thickness. The danger is we get out of color on this side right here. And it might end up that to get this thing to be what it could be, we just have to abandon the hope of putting it in this ring and cut it down small enough that we can cut it to where we have color bar everywhere. As of right now, I think we're still okay. There's a little bit of a cloud still in the middle. Part of that is because this is a grayish, it's closer to gray than white base. I don't know that you ever get all of that out. You have to make an adjustment there. Okay, so we'll roll those corners you see there slightly on the polishing wheel. Corners tend to be a bad thing. Hard angles induce cracks, stress fractures, snag on stuff, cut you. So we'll soften all that and take it to the finishing wheel. I just got a phone call, and while I was on the phone call, the stone had a chance to dry out, and our crack It's a lot more serious situation than I was hoping. So we're gonna have to go down a little bit more on that side, maybe adjust the angle of the base to fix that. And we might just not be able to use this stone for what I was hoping. We got to get that out. Well, if nothing else, that showed us that that color can get bright. Now the only thing to do is to dry it off again and see what it looks like. Drying it off here on my... Did we get it all out? I still see a little bit right there, right on the edge of that red flash. But we might be close to getting it all out. Let's pretend like it's all out now. We got to go down on the rest of it to pull up that color in the same. So that might cause problems. We'll see. That color makes me smile. Even with all the problems in the stone, there's just something about opal, am I right? That color makes me smile. Let me clean this up just a little bit, get a little bit more uniform, then we'll go to the polishing. Pretty close. He asked her, "What gift can I bring you to prove that my love for you is true? I want to make you mine forever. There's nothing on this earth I would not do." She said, "Anything I've wanted, you have given willingly. Now there's only one more thing I need. If you love me, give me wings. Don't be afraid if I fly. A bird in a cage will forget how to sing. If you trust me, give me wings." Whew, I like it. He walked over to the window, silently stared into space. Said, "I just want to protect you. This world is a dangerous place." I'm just trying to get that last cloud out if I can. I think that's it right there. She threw her arms around him and said, "I know that you mean well. There's lessons I must learn for myself. If you love me, give me wings. Don't be afraid if I fly. A Bird in a cage will forget how to sing if you trust me. Give me wings. Okay, final test. Does our stone fit in our ring? It's almost crystal, huh? You can see the ring through it. I think we're gonna say yes. Now the last time I cut a stone for one of these rings, I was in the house and I went to press it in just to look at it. I did this and that happened. And it fell to the floor, broke in half. It's a piece of boulder opal, and I'd taken it down thin because I wanted it just flush with the top of the ring. So we're gonna be, that's why I'm doing this right here, where if it falls, it can only fall about 6 inches. But there's our stone. Thanks for listening to me complain. I hope my intent isn't to just complain, but that you guys will learn something from it, because I'm learning all the time. It's difficult. Sourcing opal is difficult. There's too many people out there that will sell anything to get money to keep doing what they're doing. And any given parcel could be amazing. It could also be garbage. That is part of the stress of it, and I don't know that you ever do away with it. Maybe it's part of the fun of it. The reveal here. This stone could have been almost two-sided, but anyway, we'll go set it and I'll show you one last look at it done on my finger, and we'll call that a video. Oh, I have some exciting news. I think. Let me spin this around.
So I've had enough of you make comments to tell me that opal chip jar, there's stones in there with some value. There's tons of chips, tons of inlay, tons of doublet material in there, and I've had a lot of these say, man, I would love to have even one of those. So here's what we're gonna do. You guys get that chip jar. We'll do a giveaway. I think maybe we're about to hit, I think, 400 subscribers. When we hit 400, when we hit 500, every time we hit 100 subscribers, all you gotta do is be subscribed and comment on the video, this one or future videos, to be entered. And what I'm gonna do is every time we hit 100, I bet you there's at least 1,000 carats in that jar right now. So we'll do at least maybe 100. We'll pull it just at random, dump 100 carats of it out and send it out to a random person. I might randomly pick. Some of you are so awesome to engage and say kind things. I might pick you guys to just randomly say, hey, you get 100 carats and send it off to you, let you cut. You know, those of you that have tons of opal or get to cut high grade opal that wouldn't be interested in cutting, you know, ring size stones and pointers and doing inlay and that stuff, you might not be as excited about this, but I think there'll be a lot of you out there that this would actually be something that you would enjoy. It's got some beautiful stone, beautiful color. Even if you just put it in a chip jar and spun it every once in a while, it's got some beauty to it. And if you guys like that, just let me know. Comment below. Every time we hit 100 subscribers, we'll do 100. And every time I feel like one of you guys is contributing to the channel and helping me out with, you know, with comments and sharing and you know, subscribe, hit the bell notification and all that stuff, then I'll be sending some of that stuff out. Thanks for watching.
Say cheese, Cedar. Oh, Mama.
There it is. As you might be able to hear, I have extra loads of help right now. Navy, who helped me set the stone in the ring? Navy.
Me.
Okay.
Me.
And who is your other helpers here?
Cedar and Cyrus.
Cedar and Cyrus. There it is in full sunlight. In the shade. Tell me what you think.
Yesterday I saw you. No.
Let's turn the noise off.
How?
Like this. If we go like this, then it won't make noise right there. Nope, not that one. This one.
And
You can take pictures.
how does this come out?